Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Madden 18 and my rebuilding the Cleveland Browns playthrough. Here we are in snowy Cincinnati for the regular season finale. This episode is going to be much longer than normal because we're going to play our game as we normally do. We're going to take on the Bengals, but after that, it's the end of the season, right? So we're going to check out the stats. We're going to see who made the playoffs, who did not make the playoffs, who got MVP, offensive and defensive rookie of the year. We're going to be checking out all of that after today's game, so sit back, relax, and enjoy because it's going to be a much longer episode than normal. So I have a couple of goals going in here today. Number one, may I just say I'm very happy that it's snowing. I love snow games, and I hope that in future Maddens, we can just choose what the weather is going to be. So when you're playing franchise like I am right now, it would be nice to have an option to set it to random weather or realistic weather for what's actually happening in Cincinnati, like right now, for example, or maybe pick the weather that you want. Like maybe I want it to be snowy in all my December games. Maybe, you know, I think it'd be kind of a fun little idea, but I have a couple of goals for today's game. Number one, and this is very important, get out of here with no injuries whatsoever. Who remembers last season? They're definitely blitzing that safety there. Who remembers last season where I had to have Cardale Jones start at quarterback because Sean Kaiser got hurt in the regular season finale? Yeah, that's pretty stupid, wasn't it? Now, let's see. Ooh, oh, he was open, but they got right through on that blitz. Number two, the second goal for this particular matchup we have right here is to try to get the ball to Mr. Corey Coleman. Now, the reason why we're trying to get the ball to Mr. Corey Coleman is he is, oh, I forget the exact number. It's either 93 or 97 yards away from having a 1,000-yard season, which I personally think would be fantastic. So I would like to get him that. Is this, oh, it's under strong, I bet you is that formation that we're looking for. Actually, oh, it's actually under weak. I don't know what formation it is we're looking for here. So we're just going to call a timeout, apparently. I'm trying to find the double flares formation. Couldn't find it. I have no idea where that formation actually is. Typically, I go to code suggestions, and it's just going to be there. I wanted to actually call it because that's the play I want to call here because it's typically going to be good for about 15 yards if we actually complete the pass. But unfortunately, that was not in the cards today for us. Let's go ahead and change these to a couple of out routes. It looks like we may have to punt here, unless, of course, these post routes are going to be open, which they aren't. So we're going to scramble here a bit. He's going upfield. Okay, so he was going upfield, but I ended up crossing the line of scrimmage, so I had to basically keep on running. If I didn't cross the line of scrimmage, I actually think I could have thrown that, and it would have been an easy first down. But, unfortunately, not the way things turned out for us. Let's go ahead and punt the ball off here. I'm hoping we can actually run the ball a little bit better here in this game as well. That's like, I guess, goal number 3, because the last game, we could not run to save our lives. But here's the thing. We have home field advantage, and I believe, yeah, we have home field advantage, and we, of course, skipped the first round of the playoffs. So I think Duke Johnson is going to be back for the playoffs. Our defense not only held, but got us the ball on their 15-yard line. All right, that's pretty freaking fantastic. But yeah, Duke Johnson Jr. should be back for the playoffs, which is going to be great. So let's just hope Kristen Michael's like, who needs Duke when you've got me? Oh, man, Kristen Michael. Yeah, I'm hoping we have no actual other injuries because that would be catastrophic. Yes, it would. And Corey? Oh, Mr. Red Zone himself. Corey Coleman yet again. How many touchdowns does he have this season? 16th touchdown catch of the season. Corey is an absolute freaking monster. That's why I want to get him at oh, and the defense got us the ball back again on the 22-yard line. Are you kidding me right now? All right, so our defense has finally decided, you know what? Let's get some turnovers. And, wow, it's working. So, they're playing press coverage on us, but I think they're actually sending a pretty heavy blitz. So, let's do a couple hot routes here. Let's see. Oh, they got through, and they were also covering. That stinks. I was really hoping that we're going to be able to exploit that defense a little bit. But then again, when it comes to the bump and run like that, it usually just comes down to whether or not they can get away from the immediate bump and run. And they didn't. So let's call some other routes besides just a fly. Like David Njoku here, I think is going to be either very open. Judging from that safety, the safety is either covering Dave or he's covering the running back. And either way, it doesn't matter because we have Davion Olsen in the end zone. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we drafted him. Oh, that was beautiful. That was freaking wonderful. I love that. Davion Olsen has been nothing but incredible. Nothing short of incredible this entire season for us. He's dropped some passes. He's had some rough games, but he has made so many big plays for us. Along with Corey Coleman, it's been a really fun season throwing the ball to these two guys. All right, so we're going for a mesh here. I think it's actually going to be there. If not, Davion's typically very open on this play. All right, not going to be there. So we're going underneath the Dave. There we go. Nice. I am 3 for 3, 36 yards, 2 touchdowns. So 3 completions, 2 of them were touchdowns. No big deal. I want to try the halfback draw here. It looks like it's going to be there. And it was. But unfortunately, there were so many people just hitting every hole as fast as they could. Giggity, that you can actually get anywhere. We're going to go for this Z spot here. I like this play a lot. Ooh, they're even bumping up the safety on us, which says Corey may be very open here. Let's see. And Mr. Coleman. Oh, it got tipped. Corey was so open right there that he may have caught that and just ran for the rest of the way for a touchdown. He had such crazy separation from the corner. He was so open. The safety went down to cover the running back. Oh, really good tip. Really, really good tip by that lineman. All right. Pretty good punt. They're actually going to return this one, though. Kill him dead, man. Oh, come on. All right. I actually took a suggestion from the comments of the last episode. So somebody said to trade Cole Beasley. At first, it didn't really click with me. I'm like, well, why would we trade Cole Beasley? I like having Cole on my team, you know. But then it kind of hit me. Cole Beasley's an 81 overall, and he kind of sits on my bench. He's my 6th-string receiver because I'm trying to give time to the younger guys, right? And so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, we should trade Cole Beasley and try and pick up either a late draft pick or another player, or use him as part to trade up for a 1st-round draft pick or something like that. Use him in a trade so he can go to a team where he can actually start, while at the same time he'll be able to benefit our team by doing that. So I think it's actually a really good idea. So I did re-sign him. He is on the last year of his contract. I did re-sign him. We are going to use him to trade during the offseason. But I'm looking at Corey Coleman here, boys. No Corey Coleman. But we've got Davion Olsen. Dave! Oh! He held on to that? Oh, my goodness. That was a heck of a hit. I would not have blamed him if he dropped that whatsoever. Unfortunately, we keep getting the ball here to Davion Olsen and not to Corey Coleman. But look at this defense. So they are definitely going to be blitzing hard. Harky, I need you pass blocking because we are about to score a touchdown. All right, maybe we're not. There we go. Right upfield, Kristen Michael. I was hoping to get... Look at Kristen go, just dragging people along. He's like, who needs Duke Johnson? Start me in the playoffs, man. I'll be fine. He might be okay. I don't think he necessarily holds our team back in any way. But yeah, we're really struggling to get Corey Coleman the ball right now, unfortunately. We need to get him those yards. I don't know. Maybe we should start throwing a bunch of short slant routes to him, or... I feel like we got to do something. He needs 1,000 yards. He earned it. He deserves that 1,000-yard season. I think that's going to help out his overall and stuff. I think it'd be good if we could get him that. So I keep sending him deep, hoping that he's going to break away. But, oh, speaking of breaking away, get that inside. There we go. Look at Josh. I thought Josh was going to break that. I love having Josh Gordon on the team, man. He is such a big threat receiver here in Madden. He's a big threat receiver in real life. He's a pleasure to have. He really is. Ooh, 2-minute warning. I wasn't sure what to do with that defense. The slants may have actually been there, but the fly route to Davion Olsen there on the right looks like it could have been there as well. I love how the fly route's like a big part of my offense now. I'm like always hot routing to it. It's like, oh, you want to leave my guy remotely open? You think I'm not going to send him downfield? Because if it's one-on-one, you might as well try and throw it deep. It's a gamble, but it's really fun. So we're going for the screen here. There we go. Good blocks. Oh, perfect blocks. Kristen Michael. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Well, we go. Okay, how we follow that up? Let's follow that up with... I kind of like the mesh here. Unfortunately, Davion, I think, is going to be going too deep. But maybe Corey coming across. Or Josh. Oh! There we go. Did he drop it? He held on to it. Josh Gordon. Oh, Flash Gordon with a touchdown. That's his 7th touchdown? Okay. I was wondering if Josh could actually hit 10 touchdowns this season. I don't think he's getting 3 more this game. That seems kind of absurd. So we get the ball back here on the 5. So here's the thing about the Bengals. I don't know if I properly discussed this at the beginning of the video. So the Bengals are 4-11 in my season right here, which is pretty terrible. All right, we all kind of feel bad for them. But they're actually on a 3-game winning streak. So 3 of their 4 wins have been in the past few weeks. So, oh, Corey, I'm putting that up to you, buddy. I believe in you, Corey. There, oh no, no, okay. At least it wasn't picked. It was almost caught. That would have been freaking incredible. I shouldn't put up prayers like that. I really shouldn't. But I want Corey to get his 1,000 yards. But I shouldn't force it that way. That's just asking for trouble. So we're going to throw passes like that. Passes like that should help, right? All right, 3rd and inches. I'm going to go to a whole different formation, go for the halfback dive. And we have 2 timeouts left, 50 seconds. We may have time to actually score again here. We'll see. Oh, Christian Michael, right up the middle. All right, let's call one of our timeouts now. Just to rest everybody, so all the starters are good. We still have a ways to go to even get in field goal range, so I wouldn't hold my breath, but we're going to try and get in scoring range here. We're going to call the tight end angle, which is kind of like an inverted mesh play that has Corey Coleman on that corner route. All right, Corey, this is you. All right, Corey. Oh, tiptoe that, buddy. Oh. That was not going to be a catch, but since they tackled him the way they did, it counted as a catch. I think. I mean, let's watch. Let's see the replay really quick. Did he even get 2 feet in? Yeah, here's better angle. His knees dragged because of the goofy animation of the guy tackling him. All right, so that actually helps out quite a bit. Now we have the ball here on the 44-yard line. We're about 14 yards away from field goal range. I'm not sure where the wind is actually going. Ooh. Corey. All right, so they have a good corner covering Josh Gordon, right? So we're going to send Corey deep here against, like, their 3rd-string corner or whoever that is that's actually covering. Maybe their free safety. I don't know. But I think Corey is about to burn this guy, which he did. All right, Corey. Oh, you buddy. No, Corey. He heard me talking about him. He heard me talking about him. He's making me eat crow right now. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Oh, yeah, soak it in, buddy. Soak it in. He heard me making fun of him. He made the interception. You know what? Good play. Good play. And that is the end of the first half. The final first half of Season 2's regular season here. We actually have the ball here to start the second half. Let's run. Let's run the ball here. We've been throwing quite a bit, but it's also important to run on occasion. Let's go ahead and cut this outside. There we go. Good blocks. Oh, Corey. Oh, Corey Coleman with the perfect block. Kristen Michael, don't get caught, buddy. Who needs Duke Johnson when Kristen Michael is busting off 75-yard touchdown runs? My man. That was all Corey Coleman, by the way. That's why we need to get Corey Coleman his 1,000-yard season. He's been making blocks like that all year, making big touchdown catches, doing all sorts of awesome stuff, man. We've got to get him his 1,000 yards. We just have to. I want to go for a tight end angle because I want to throw it to Corey, but it's hard to throw to Corey on this particular, when we're, this far on the left side of the field. Let's see. Let's see if it's there. It's not going to be there. So we're going to go underneath. Davion Olsen, the rookie. Oh, I can't believe that interception. He heard me. He knew I was talking about him. He's like, oh, you want to talk about me, do you? What? And scramble here a bit. Corey, I see how open you kind of are, but I'm really worried that I would have a bad throw. That was a bit of an unnecessary hit, if you ask me. But I just want to scramble for that first. Now we're here. Let's go for a mesh. I get that's not going to be going to Corey. It's going to be going to Josh. But, we're on the right side of the field. I love trying to call that mesh, and it's not there. All right, so he fell down, so I had to throw it to Corey instead. I was going to throw that. I had every intention to throw that to Davion. Did he say 1,000 yards, by the way? Yeah, I don't think so. He needed like 90-something yards here. He's got a decent amount of yards so far, but I don't think he's, he's got 4 for 56. All right, so he needs about 40 yards, which is about what he can get if he were to score a touchdown right now. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he has to score a touchdown right now. I'm just saying that if he did score a touchdown right now, which he is on the inside. Oh, Corey, I'm a call a little bit pass interference there. I felt like there may have been a hit there. I'm just saying. But I just really want Corey to get this. If he doesn't get it, it's okay. It won't be the worst thing ever. But you can tell this is what happens when I try to basically build my offense around one player, trying to force them the ball. I play sloppy, you know? You see how sloppy I'm playing right now. It's because I'm thinking every single play, how can I get Corey the ball? How can I get Corey open right now, you know? Let's go for a halfback screen, 3rd and 4. May actually be a bad idea because if we get tackled in the backfield, we're out of field goal range. But we're winning by so much, who cares? Good blocks. Good blocks. Get up there. All right. We're 14 of 18 right now, so far so good in that respect. Let's go play action power O just so we can call the hot route into the double flares and see about Cooper Kupp and Josh Gordon. Okay. Who wants it? Coop? Coop! Cooper Kupp! And down we are here on the 1-yard line. It's okay. I don't care that he got stopped there. We're going to get a touchdown to Mr. Christine Michael. We have to call this here. It's actually been a long time since we called it, so let's make sure it still works before we go in the playoffs here. Now we're down the 1-yard line. Let's go for that halfback toss right. Should be money, right? And good blocks. There we go. Christine Michael in the end zone yet again. Who needs Duke Johnson Jr.? We do. I can't wait for Duke to come back. I can't wait to play with Duke yet again. Wow, this is a massacre, this game. It's 35-0. We're halfway through the freaking 3rd quarter here. We still have a half of this and then, you know, the entire 4th to go through. These poor guys. All right, they're not bumping that safety up on me. Oh, come on, bumping into my own fullback here. I'm just trying to cut up field is all. Come on, leave that safety up. Let's get Corey Coleman that deep ball. Why don't they ever want Corey Coleman to have... Throw it away. I pressed the button to throw away, but I ended up taking the sack instead. All right, well, now what we do on a 3rd and 20? We go for the tight end angle, I think. Corey's going to be more open on this route. We're further on the right-hand side, so Corey should actually be there. And he is. No, Corey fell. Corey, you fell, man. I want him to have 1,000 yards so bad. I am fighting so hard to get this. I mean, so far we've done a pretty good job of all my goals. Nobody's gotten injured. We're running the ball decently well, but most of it came on that 75-yard touchdown run. And the other goal, of course, is to get Corey Coleman. Kill him dead. Kill him dead. All right, come on. You can't keep missing. Tyler Worthy, the rookie linebacker, took him out. But the only thing we're not really doing well is not getting Corey Coleman his ball. But I think a part of that is I'm really just waiting on a deep ball to happen so I can get him all of his yards kind of in one play, which is, I don't think, the best way to go about it. I should really just start throwing a bunch of slant routes to him, I think. And there we go. Cool, come on. Will you hit the wide open receiver? Come on, Mr. Deshaun Kaiser, Mr. looking to be MVP this year. You need to hit the wide open receiver. Let's go for a mesh. This is actually going to be Davion Olsen potentially on the corner. If not, maybe Corey coming across. We'll see. And that's going to be Corey, I think. Yep, there's Corey. There you go, buddy. I think we just need to call more plays like that and give him the ball that way. Let's go different formation and go for a halfback dive. And if they're really looking like they're going to stop the run, we'll go for a slants. I think we're okay here. And right up the middle we go. There we go, Christine Michael. And let's do a hurry up into a slants. See if we can hit Corey here. I just really want to get Corey his yards, and I won't focus on throwing to him at all anymore. And Corey, that was supposed to be the Corey. I'll chalk that one up to the snow, Mr. Deshaun. I'll chalk that one up to the snow. I don't know what else to chalk that up to. That was kind of embarrassing for a quarterback of your skill and caliber. But, all right, we're going to call this to the opposite side and look for Corey coming across. Mr. Coleman, there you go. Get upfield, buddy. No, face mask. That's just a face mask. He's good. We're good. That's got to be a face mask instead of a holding. Yeah. Mandatory 15 yards, that is. And now we're on the 31-yard line. Trying to rip the head off of Corey Coleman. They don't want him getting his yards. All right, let's go. I'm just going to call the halfback dive. And we'll see if it's there. We may change this to a slants. Yeah, we'll go to a slants here, I think. And, okay, that is some crazy bump and run there, for crying out loud. All right. Let's actually just get a first down here. What do we have that's decent for... Level switch doesn't actually look bad. Actually, Sail to David Njoku. Let's see. All right, Michael's going out there. Olsen's on a deep in. Josh is going straight up deep. Let's have Cooper running a slant, I think. And that's going to be Coop. That's going to be Coop. Wide open middle of the field. Mr. Cup. Mr. Cup. My man. All right. What else do we have here? Ooh, seams under to David Njoku. Maybe Cooper Cup again. And, oh, how about nobody as two people just get right through on me and just crack me in the backfield. Ow. Come on, man. You gotta take it easy. It's the final game of the year. You know, you guys aren't making the playoffs. You have 4 wins this season. You guys don't have to worry about anything. Just relax, take it easy, and you'll be able to go home. Oh, wide freaking open. Chance Hurley coming across. And now we'll go for a quick dive. Oh, wow. Wait, no, I forgot. Since we got sacked, we actually lost a lot of yardage right there. So we're going to have to actually go for a much different play. Let's go Davion. There we go. And then Chance deep with David running and out. I'm basically calling my own entire play right now. I just picked the formation, and I chose every route that's being run here. Corey beat him. Corey Coleman! My man! That's 20 yards. Is that 1,000? Corey? 17th touchdown catch of the freaking season. He needs 1,000 yards. It needs to happen, man. If he doesn't have it already, he is so freaking close. What a catch. What a catch. All right. Sim next moment. And we got the ball back here yet again. I should really take my starters out. But I'm not sure if Corey Coleman has his freaking yards yet. I don't think he does. Let's see. 92. He's either 1 yard away or... I forget. He's either 1 yard away or he is 5 yards away from hitting exactly 1,000. I can't remember if he needed 93 or 97 yards going into this game. So, we're going to try and hit him here. And Corey! There it is. Doesn't matter. It's finally over. Woo! You're not going to show 1,000 yards for him? Okay. Doesn't matter. He has it. We're good. That's 1,000 yards on the season for Mr. Corey Coleman. Mr. Red Zone himself. Mr. Never Drops a Pass. Mr. Almost Got Cut after last season. I can't believe that, man. So here we are. I've been focusing so heavily on getting Corey the ball this entire game that I haven't really been focusing on the fact that this is actually the final regular season game with this team right here. Regardless of what happens in the playoffs, a lot of these guys are going to be back next season, but I do have some ideas for backups and filler positions and stuff like that. So it's not going to be the exact same team next year, but it's going to be pretty close to what you're seeing on the field right now. And honestly, shouldn't I just put in my backups right now? Shouldn't I just put in Cardale Jones and let him finish off the season? Or should I continue with Deshaun Kaiser? All right, there we go. Oh, no blocks. No blocks. Oh, Darius Jackson wanted to get downfield. We ended up actually losing a yard out of that. Oh, we got a yard out of it. I'm sorry. All right, third down. Who knows? This may be the final drive that we have this season. I mean, if we have to punt the ball off right now, they might just run out the rest of the clock. That might be all she wrote on our year. And Davion, my man, the rookie. Ooh, what a hit. Almost threw him down. Deshaun just hit 300 yards. I think Deshaun deserves to be on the field with the rest of the starters here to end off the regular season. They really want to stop the run here, so you know what? I'll teach you. I'll teach you guys to stop the run. I'll hit Mr. Corey Coleman again. I don't care. I'll hit Corey all day and night. That's my man right there. That's my man's. I would like to run, though. Just to keep pounding the rock. Give him some more stats. Oh, there we go. Oh, almost breaking through. 13 carries, $131. That's incredible. It would be nice if we could drive down here and cap off the season with a touchdown. How cool would that be? That'd be a great way to end it off, I think. Oh, Chance Hurley, the rookie. Hey, was he touched? I don't think he was touched. I'm just saying, I don't think he was actually touched there. He could have got up and ran if you ask me. He might have actually been touched when the guy dived, but... All right. And fire that in. Oh, Davion. Almost. Almost. Not exactly a perfect throw. All right, so 47-yard field goal. Where's that wind? 7 miles an hour that way? Easy peasy. That was slightly inaccurate. Slightly inaccurate, but it doesn't matter for Mr. Zane Gonzalez. So that was likely the final drive of our regular season here in Season 2. Zane Gonzalez hitting yet another field goal. I forget how many he has this year. It's absurd. It really is. It's like 34 or something like that. He's doing pretty good. And I've been playing off, and we're blowing these guys out. It's 45-7. But they're a 4-11 team. I did not really expect much more out of them, honestly. They were on a 3-game win streak, as I said. But we saw that. We put an end to that pretty quickly. But, man, what a way to end off the season. So we started this year off 1-2. Wondering to ourselves, what the heck is happening to my defense this year? I don't know what's going on. I mean, this may be a terrible year. But after starting off 1-2, we won out the rest of the season, finished 14-2, got home field advantage throughout the playoffs, a first-round bye, probably the NFL MVP in Deshaun Kaiser, Offensive Rookie of the Year right there in Mr. Davion Olsen, Defensive Rookie of the Year in linebacker Tyler Worthy, Kicker of the Year, I think, in Zane Gonzalez. Just so many great aspects of our team this year. It's been absolutely incredible. And Duke Johnson Jr. was on pace to be the MVP, to be the NFL's leading running back until he, of course, got injured. He will be back for the playoffs, but they put Tom Savage in. Oh, we injured Andy Dalton in the final game. Poor guy. He wasn't exactly doing well to begin with. 10 of 21, 2 picks, and 106 yards. But what a season. So for the final game, Deshaun Kaiser, 26 of 35, 311 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Running the ball, Kristen Michael. What a way. This is likely his final game as our starter, at least for this season. I mean, next year he's going to be the backup again. But, and who knows if Duke's going to get hurt next year. But for the time being, anyway, that was his last game actually starting. And he wanted to give us something to remember him by. 13 carries, $131, 2 touchdowns, including that 75-yard touchdown run off of the perfect block from Corey Coleman. 2 carries, 9 yards from Mr. Deshaun Kaiser. Receiving, 9 catches, $115, 2 touchdowns. I was not forcing the ball to Corey Coleman whatsoever that game. Davion Olsen, who I actually wasn't trying to force the ball to, 6 for 79 and a touchdown. Typically, my guys do well if I just wait for them to get open, you know, instead of trying to force it to him. Chance Hurley, 2 for 11. Cooper Kupp, 2 for 36. Darius Jackson, 2 for 7. Josh Gordon, 2 for 30 and a touchdown. Kristen Michael, 2 for 26. And 1 for 7 for Mr. David Njoku, who had a pretty quiet season, but a good season nonetheless. Blocking-wise, look at all the pancakes here, for crying out loud. It's like a breakfast house. And leading tackler this week was actually Jabril Peppers. Ooh, what we got sacks-wise? Myles Garrett and Stanley Schmidt each were getting a couple of sacks this week. There we go. Any tackles for a loss? Dontari Poe with 1. We had an interception from Jamar Taylor and Joe Hayden, both for 11 yards. No pass deflections this game. No forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, no blocks, nothing like that. All right. Well, pretty good game of defense there. Unfortunately, and we're going to be checking out the full season stats here in a moment, Myles Garrett had a bit of a sophomore slump. So 1-for-1, of course, with Zane Gonzalez and some pretty good punts there from Jacob Schum. Let's go ahead and just end off the game here. As I said, it's going to be a much longer episode than normal because typically I end off the video whenever the game's actually over. But here we're actually going to be checking out all the stats. We're going to be seeing everything going on with my NFL career here. So I have tons of XP here for Joseph Nero. I never actually spend it on much because I'm not sure what else I should be using it on. Should I be using it on free agency influence or anything? I don't know because I'm not sure if I'm going to try and be signed any of those guys in free agency. So right now I'm just kind of saving it, waiting to see what I may actually need it for. So we'll advance there. Now it shows DeShone Kizer having 4,900 XP. I imagine once we simulate into the wild card round, it's going to be a lot more experience than that because I think he may win MVP. We're going to have to see. There's J.C. Treader, Stanley Schmidt, the rookie. So we're not even going to bother with the XP of these guys right now. I've been slowly but surely all season upgrading the things I want them to have upgraded. But for right now anyway, we're just going to skip that. Not even going to bother with it. And we are going to advance to the wild card round. And see what happened. In terms of, like, you know, who made the playoffs, who did not make the playoffs, who got MVP, all the stuff, all the stats. I'm excited for this, man. I'm very, oh, there we go. Great players put forth great years. DeShone Kizer is a great player and a MVP. There we go, man. DeShone Kizer. And getting Offensive Rookie of the Year his first season, and then NFL MVP the second season. Now, what I tell you guys about that experience, look at this, 54,000 XP I can put to DeShone Kizer, 46,000 for Davion Olsen, 24,000 for Corey Coleman. Oh my goodness, that is mouth-wateringly good. Tyler Worthy, did he get, 14,000. Did he not get Defensive Rookie of the Year? Maybe he did. We go 14,000. I mean, that's more so than anybody else here. So I imagine he got Defensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, we're going to be able to improve our team, boys. I am excited. What about kicking? Zane Gonzalez definitely got Kicker of the Year because look how much XP he has. Let's actually upgrade Zane really quick. I'm not going to bother upgrading everybody right now. It's something I'm going to do off camera probably. So we can bump that up to a 90. Do I really need... Okay, so we can bump that all... Wow, we can bump... Wow. That is insane. We can go 96, 96, and then bump up his awareness a ton. If you guys don't know, bumping up awareness, I'm not sure if that actually helps at all when I'm actually doing kicking, but that actually helps his overall. So watch, his overall right now is a 74, 81. You would think he'd be a better kicker than 81, 96, 96, really? But I imagine it's because his awareness is so low. He doesn't have the clutch trait, but since I control him, I don't know if we need a clutch trait. I don't know. But yeah, we're not going to bother spending experience in the video. We're just going to go ahead and check out stats and see what's going on with all of that. So let's go ahead and check out the standings here. So we went 14-2. We have home field advantage. The Seahawks have home field advantage for the NFC. And let's just go by actual conferences here. So the teams that made the playoffs here for the AFC. Browns, Titans, Patriots, Raiders, Steelers, and the Texans. And here are the rest of the teams in the AFC, just to see maybe where your favorite team may have actually gone in my career here. And I'll check the NFC. The playoff teams are going to be the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Redskins, the Lions, the Packers, and the Cardinals. Pretty competitive there. I mean, look at all the teams that barely made it in with 10 wins, and we have these teams here with 9 wins. So the Cowboys and the Vikings barely missed the playoffs. Then you have, oh, poor Giants, Bears, and Niners. Even worse. Poor Isaiah Crowell, who we traded to the Niners. Who could have been on our team, even as a backup. But instead, he went and started for the Niners, and they went 3-13. That stinks. Let's check out the stats. Let's see what's going on here. So the final stats for my team... DeShone Kizer, wow, I can see why I had an MVP season. That was freaking incredible. So, 4,471 yards, 43 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions, 66% completion percentage, 280 yards a game, pretty much. Wow, yeah. What a season that was. Cardale Jones did pretty good as well, filling in for him. He did pretty much the same, same completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, went 20 to 30, 300 yards. Not bad, Cardale. Not bad. Let's hope I don't have to see you in the playoffs like last year. Duke Johnson, unfortunately, had his season cut short. It doesn't show the injury thing next to him, so I think he's actually ready to go. Like, he could play right now, but we get to simulate the wild card round and play in the divisional round. So Duke Johnson's definitely going to be back for the next game, which is going to be pretty exciting. But Kristen Michael did a great job filling in for Duke this season. Then, of course, Deshaun. I didn't run that much with him this year, but when I had to, he did a pretty good job. Darius Jackson, he did pretty good in his very limited use coming out of the backfield. Receiving-wise, Davion Olsen, the rookie, the guy I traded up for, Mr. 71 overall himself, 86 catches, 1,257 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Then Mr. Red Zone himself, Corey Coleman, had 71 catches, 1,018 yards, 17 touchdowns. That is absurd to me. I never throw to my outside receivers, and this year I had 2 different outside receivers, each with over 1,000 yards, each with over 14 or more touchdowns. 17 for Corey. That is absurd. Man, David Njoku had this entire season, right? We felt like David Njoku wasn't really doing a whole lot. By tight end stats and tight end standards, he had a pretty good year. I mean, 46 catches, 725 yards, 4 touchdowns. Admittedly, a lot of those yards came on one play, 95 yards, but David had a pretty good season. Josh Gordon, despite his injuries, if Josh was not hurt for how many games is he out? 3 or 4? If he was not hurt for those games, he would have been really close to 1,000 yards just based off of his average. He would have been pretty close to 1,000 yards. We probably would have had 3 1,000-yard receivers if he was not hurt. I mean, Cooper Kupp filling in for him had almost 200 yards, and you throw that on top of the yards that he had already, you have close to a 1,000-yard season out of him there. Definitely looking forward to having him next year, although I'm worried that his overall is not going to get any better, and it may actually go down. Duke Johnson coming out of the backfield, pretty good. Kristen Michael filling in, very good job. In fact, Duke had more catches, therefore more opportunities for him to get tackled in the backfield, but Kristen did pretty good on his screenplays. The rookie Chance Hurley, 14 for 106 and a touchdown. Not exactly the best season, but being a backup tight end on a team that utilizes its top guys this well, you can see why he didn't have that many catches or anything. Cooper Kupp, my man, did a pretty good job. Darius Jackson, Corey Harkey, the fullback. Cole Beasley with his 2 catches. Braxton Miller had 1 for 11 yards and a touchdown. Then Niles Paul, 1 catch for 4 yards. Defensively, Christian Kirksey had 100 tackles, but Tyler Worthy, the rookie, who I imagine got Defensive Rookie of the Year, we're going to check that out here in a moment, 113 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 interception. Really good rookie season for him. And that was like the weak point of our defense last season, was the middle linebacker position. Well, we fixed that, and we fixed that pretty freaking well, I'd say. Jamar Taylor, Jabril Peppers getting 78 tackles, Myles Garrett 62. See, here's the thing. This is what I was saying. Myles Garrett had a bit of a sophomore slump. You may think that Stanley Schmidt was a bit of a bust because I traded up to get him with the first overall draft pick, and all he really did, 53 tackles, 12.5 sacks. He didn't have like an amazing breakout rookie season. But he did better sacks-wise than Myles Garrett, who is literally like a 96 overall. And, Stanley's like an 82, so I don't know if Myles had just like a sophomore slump or what was going on with him. Can I look at his skills? It's not actually you can see his traits there. I can actually go down. He has the high motor trait. I spent most of his experience that he got this season giving him the high motor trait because he wasn't giving his all on every single play. And I thought maybe the reason why he's not doing as well this year is he's not giving it his all. Maybe he's just like, going through the motions. But even after giving him that trait, he didn't really do a whole lot better. So, yeah, little disappointing with what Myles Garrett did this season. But Dontari Poe did pretty well. Coming in. This is my defensive line right here. And they combined for, 22, 32, 33 and a half sacks out of my 4 defensive linemen. So, not bad. Nobody else on my team really gets sacks. Emmanuel Ogbah got 1 filling in. Tyler Worthy had 2. Jabril Peppers had half of 1. So, these guys, when it comes to my linebackers apparently don't get sacks at all. Interceptions-wise, Jamar Taylor, 4 interceptions, 63 yards. 3 for Jason McCourty, 3 for Harrison Smith, 3 for Joe Hayden, 1 for Tyler Worthy, 1 for Jamie Collins Sr., 1 for Buster Screen, 1 for Joe Schobert, the backup middle linebacker, which I like quite a bit in real life. And then Derek Kindred, we actually watched him get that interception in one of those games. It was on a Hail Mary, I believe. Forced fumbles, 2 for Stanley Schmidt, 2 fumble recoveries. So we forced 3 fumbles all season and recovered all 3 of them. Any blocks? We had 1 there from Jason McCourty. No safeties. Yeah, no safeties at all. No defensive touchdowns. Nothing like that. Now, let's check out kicking. Zane Gonzalez, 98% extra point percentage. He had 1 of them blocked. But, 59 for 60. 32 of 34. 94% field goal percentage. Pretty freaking good, man. Of course, that 51-yard field goal long. I don't try to kick many field goals past 51 yards. I just know it's a big gamble. At that point, it's almost worth either just punting or going for it, So, Zane had a pretty freaking awesome year. Another good season out of Jacob Schum as well. I'd say he had a lot of very good punts. 40 punts, and 15 of them were inside the 20. That seems pretty good to me. Kick and punt returns, not a lot to be said about that. But yeah, those are our stats. Really quickly, before we go ahead and check out the rest of the league, let's go ahead and check out those yearly awards. So DeShone Kizer got NFL MVP with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger. Wow, lots of quarterbacks here going for MVP. And he also got Offensive Player of the Year. That definitely gave him a bunch more overall as well. Defensive Player of the Year was Trey Flowers. Hey, Tyler Worthy was number 7. Stanley Schmidt, for some reason, was number 9. I don't know why that was. But, so Offensive Rookie of the Year was Davion Olsen, with the Steelers receiver Thurman Mathis being number 2. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Tyler Worthy, which for some reason also has Stanley Schmidt as number 2, which is odd because Stanley didn't really do much this year. But then again, when we're talking about rookies, probably weren't a ton of rookies making a big splash. So we had the offensive and the defensive Rookie of the Year for the 2nd straight season. Best quarterback in the AFC went to DeShone Kizer. Best running back went to Le'Veon Bell. Duke Johnson finished in 3rd, even though he was out for the final 4 games of the season. Best receiver was Antonio Brown, with Davion and Corey Coleman coming in at number 2 and 3. Best offensive line. This is kind of skewed. When you play this, they get lots of pancakes and stuff like that in my games as compared to the simulated games. So it makes the linemen look better than they actually are. Best defensive line. I didn't expect to see any of my guys really here. Stanley's up there, but, not exactly great. When it comes to linebackers, wow. Yeah, he's not even there. Not even in the contention. Tyler Worthy wasn't even in contention for best linebacker, even though he was Defensive Rookie of the Year. When it comes to defensive backs, hey, Jamar Taylor was there. Not bad. Best kicker, obviously Zane Gonzalez is going to win that one. And we'll check the NFC here really quickly for those of you guys that are interested in checking out who's where, who did what. I'm trying to remember some of these rookies. So these are the quarterbacks that obviously had no... Xavier Streeter. I was actually considering drafting him. He's out of Pittsburgh. I remember his college. He was out of Pittsburgh. Yeah, a cool name. I'm like, maybe I should draft him. But he was, if I remember right, he's actually a rather short receiver, more of a short, speedy guy, which isn't exactly the kind of receiver I was looking for. I was looking for big, tall guys. Which, of course, we got Davion Olsen. So, all right. So those are the annual awards. Now let's check out what's going on with the rest of the league in terms of statistics here. So Phillip Rivers, of all people, led the league in passing yards, followed by Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, DeShone Kizer there at number 4. And the reason why DeShone got MVP was because he had more touchdowns than these guys and less picks. Ben was close with 42 touchdowns, but he had 13 picks as compared to DeShone's 8. So I can see why DeShone got MVP over the rest of them. Let's go by actual touchdowns here. Let's just go ahead and check out this way. So DeShone number 1 at 43. Ben had 42. Lots of 40 touchdown pass guys this season. So we had DeShone, Ben, Matt Stafford, and Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers at 36. Russell Wilson at 31. Marcus Mariota at 31. Phillip Rivers at 30. 29 for Dak Prescott. Deshaun Watson at 29. Joe Flacco at 29. 28 for Matt Ryan. Jimmy Garr 27, but also 18 picks. Come on, man. Tom wasn't teaching him how to throw interceptions, I promise you. Carson Palmer there, 27. Not exactly, get decent yards and stuff, I guess. Joseph Villano is apparently the starting quarterback now for the Buccaneers. Cam Newton, Derek Carr, Andrew Luck, Cody Kessler, poor guy. Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees got MVP in my first season. Then he retires. They signed Cody Kessler to fill in and be the new Drew Brees. And boy, is he not Drew Brees. 22 touchdowns to 18 picks. Andy Dalton there. Teddy Bridgewater starting for the freaking Jags. Tyrod Taylor. Apparently I got rid of Jared Goff again. Sam Bradford. Kirk Cousins. Blake Bortles. So is Blake hurt? Or why is... Did they make a choice to bench him for Teddy halfway through the season? I have no idea. Ryan Tannehill. So Ryan, I assume, got hurt. Yeah? Was there another Dolphins quarterback that did better than Ryan? Did I pass it? No, I didn't think so. Yeah, so wow. Did the Dolphins just not throw any touchdowns at all this season? Because Ryan Tannehill is all the way down here at 13 touchdowns. Okay, so Ryan got hurt, and this Brandon Daughtry guy came in and threw 12 of them. Okay. Carson Wentz got hurt. Poor guy. RG3 playing. That's cool. That's cool. RG3 is back on the Redskins. So they didn't give him back his number. He's number 4. Wow. Alex Smith. All right. So let's go ahead and check out rushing here. Now, this is funny, by the way. So Duke Johnson, despite only... oh, that's David Johnson. I'm sorry. Duke Johnson... I was looking at David Johnson thinking it was Duke Johnson. So despite only playing in 13 games, Duke Johnson Jr. was still number 5 in rushing yards. He actually was randomly tied with DeMarco Murray. What are the chances there? DeMarco had many more carries than Duke did, but they had the exact same amount of yards. Le'Veon Bell, who was in contention for MVP, had 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns. That's actually pretty awesome. Their offense was incredible. I mean, Le'Veon had 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns, and Ben is over here throwing for 42 touchdowns and 4,300 yards. I mean, their offense was incredible. I'm surprised they didn't do better than 10-6. Jay Ajayi is still on the Dolphins because I started this franchise before he was traded in real life, but he did pretty well for the Dolphins there. David Johnson there, 13 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott, 1300, 12 touchdowns. Duke Johnson there, of course. DeMarco Murray, LaShawn McCoy, Jonathan Stewart, Melvin Gordon, C.J. Anderson, LeGarrette Blount, Jeremy Hill, who was a free agent. He ended up signing with the Giants, who did not have a good season, but he did pretty well, I'd say. 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, not bad. Oh, poor Isaiah. We have to go all the way down here to get to Isaiah Crowell. Man, I mean, you got your carries. You got more carries than Duke did this year, but you didn't make, I mean, 4 yards per carry. He did a pretty good job. He's on a really bad team. I hope the Niners get better. Should I just leave the Browns and go start working on the Niners next? Because I think we've rebuilt the Browns pretty well. He only played in 12 games. Did he get hurt or did they bench him? Well, either way, he probably would have had 1,000 yards if he played all season. So, he didn't do so bad. I hope he does well there. I really do. Lamar Miller, Giovanni Bernard, Todd Gurley. Wow, Todd must have been... Yeah, Todd was definitely hurt. He only played in 10 games. Ty Montgomery, Spencer Ware, Devontae Freeman. Lots of injuries. Like, look at the games played over here. Just focus on this as I'm scrolling down through here. Look at how many people didn't play out the entire season. Like, lots of these guys were hurt and ended up missing games. Wow. Yeah, lots of them, including Isaiah. Let's keep scrolling here for a little bit. Jordan Howard, poor guy. Got really hurt, apparently. Missed 7 games this season and still almost put up 1,000 yards. Only 2 touchdowns, though. They're robbing him down there. Thomas Rawls. Marshawn Lynch did not. Last season in my career here, he had 1,000 yards and like 15 touchdowns or something, I think, if I remember correctly. No such luck this time. Joe Mixon, who was actually considering signing during the offseason, did not exactly have a great season despite playing all 16 games. So, a bit of a bust there. Matt Forte, still kicking, still playing, played all 16 games, had 11 rushing touchdowns. He still got it. Zach Zenner? Who is this? Running for 10 touchdowns for the Colts. Where's Frank Gore? Mike Galeese? playing for the Vikings. Mark Ingram also getting injured, apparently. Carlos Hyde. So Carlos Hyde is now on the Redskins. Didn't exactly have a great year. Oh, Leonard. What happened to you, man? You're supposed to be like a really good running back for the Jaguars. And you played 12 games and got 600 yards. That's disappointing. There's Tariq Cohen. I actually have him, or had him. My season's over now. In fantasy football, I had terrible in fantasy this year, but I had him. I'm in a PPR league, so he did pretty well for me. The downside to him is some weeks he'd go off, and other weeks he'd do nothing. But he's 5'6", which is hilarious. All right, Adrian Pearson's still playing. 6 touchdowns. Wow, 10 touchdowns for you. Derrick Henry all the way down here. Christian Michael, there he is. Kareem Hunt, Doug Martin. I'm just kind of scrolling through. It's the end of the season, right? We might as well check out all the stats and see what's going on, you know? All right, but I think we see enough there. Let's go check out the receiving. The #1 receiver in the league, are you kidding me? Was Rob Gronkowski with 104 catches. Number 2 was Julian Edelman. Where is he at? Did he get hurt? Did he get hurt, or did I pass him? Or are they not showing him? I think what's happening is they're not showing him. Let's go to the Patriots real quick. I want to show you guys this. This is actually insane. So, no. All right, so earlier in the season, he got hurt. I think it was Julian Edelman and Brandon Cooks were #1 and #2 in terms of receptions throughout the entirety of the season. Like when we last checked, they were #1 and #2. But since he got hurt, Rob Gronkowski started getting all those passes from Tom Brady. And so now the top 2 receivers in terms of catches were Gronk and Julian Edelman. Antonio Brown won best receiver, and for obvious reasons. I mean, the man had 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. That's pretty good. I mean, we were close to that, I'd say. Wow, we didn't actually lead the league in touchdown catches. We had 1,000 yards and 17 for Corey Coleman there. Des Bryant caught 18 touchdowns. Wow, that is insane. Wow. Okay, so let's go back to yards here, I suppose. Jordy Nelson, Golden Tate, Davion Holson. I'm so happy about Davion, man. So Davion finished in his rookie season in the top 5 in receiving yards. Won Rookie of the Year. That's pretty great. He even beat out DeAndre Hopkins. He beat out Des Bryant, Devontae Adams, Torrey Smith, and Josh Doxson. I mean, who cares about them? Kenny Stills, OBJ, Emmanuel Sanders, Julian Edelman. Beating out all these guys in yards. I'm pretty happy about that, man. He had a really good rookie season. Randall Cobb. Then, of course, Corey Coleman. So not really a ton of receivers. I guess there's a decent amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm losing count already. But under 20 receivers with 1,000 yards, which I guess kind of makes sense. Still a decent amount, I'd say. Then, of course, a couple guys that were just... AJ Grill. AJ. You know, AJ. You don't even have to leave the state of Ohio to come join the Browns. He played all 16 games, did not have 1,000 yards, and had 3 touchdowns. This is AJ Green we're talking about, guys. He deserves better than Andy Dalton and those 4-12 Bengals. I'm just saying, AJ, you've got my number. I'd be more than happy to make a spot for you. Don't know where you'd be on my depth chart, honestly, because #1's Corey Coleman, #2 is going to be Davion Olsen. But maybe he could be our new slot receiver. I bet you AJ is better than Josh Gordon. I'm just saying. I don't know. I doubt they'd trade him, though, or release him. Jeremy Maclin, the rookie Thurman Mathis for the Steelers, who is definitely fighting for Offensive Rookie of the Year, but didn't end up winning it, of course. Keeps going down through here. Ryan Switzer, Doug Baldwin, Stephon Diggs. Travis Benjamin, the former Brown himself. Almost 1,000 yards there for the Cardinals. Keenan Allen. Jordan Reed. I miss him. I miss him from my Madden 16 series. I miss him. Eric Decker. Hunter Henry. Mohamed Sanu, the former Brown. I also miss Sam Nunley from Madden 16, but what are you going to do? Michael Thomas. Amari Cooper. Cordero Patterson. All right. Julio Jones. Oh, I guess he was hurt. Okay, he missed out on 4 games. You know, Julio, you got my number. I'm just saying. You want to come join the best offense in the league. Same thing goes for you, Mike Evans. I always liked you. I'm an A&M fan. I always liked you, Mike Evans. You played 16 games, and they couldn't get you 1,000 yards. Come on over, Mikey. My third string receiver almost had as many yards as you. Come on, Mike. Dump that team. Sign with me. Good things will happen. I can't wait for the offseason of Jimmy Graham. It's crazy that, like, we're about to start playing the playoffs, and I'm sitting here thinking, you know, that offseason is going to be pretty fun. There's Josh Gordon there. Wow. Martavis Bryant's all the way down here. All right, so those are mainly all the receivers and stuff there. I don't think we need to go too much further than that. Let's check out, like, the top touchdown guys really quickly. Lots of people with over 10. Let's check out defense. Who led the league in tackling this season? I'm trying to wrap this up somewhat quickly. We've been going on for a long time now. My voice is dead. Navarro Bowman, 165. He's so good, man. He really is. Jake Ryan, 156. This is what I'm saying when it comes to, like, the rest of the league with their simulations. They just get more tackles than, you know, my guys. Like, if we scroll all the way down here, let's keep scrolling. We're not done yet. We're still scrolling. All the way down here is Tyler Worthy, our leading tackler. You know, you have all these other guys who were ahead of him. And that's because their games are just, when they simulate, their games are longer. So their defensive players have more time to actually do things. Wow. See, this is what I thought my defensive line was going to do this year. But unfortunately, no such luck. But Trey Flowers, 21.5 sacks, 21.5 from Aaron Donald. 18.5 from Brandon Graham. J.J. Watt was 17.5. Justin Houston, 14.5. 14 for Charles Johnson. Wow. Yeah, you have to scroll down pretty far to get to my guys. Oh, wow. Vaughn, what's going on with you? Not a ton of sacks this season, huh? Just saying, Von Miller. There's room for you on this team. I see all these, like, superstar players. I'm thinking, man, that would really help my team a lot if we had Von Miller on defense. Can you imagine if we put Von Miller on our already good defense? It would be... I don't even know what... That'd be insane. But honestly, we don't even need Von Miller. We really need a really good shutdown corner, which I'm hoping to get in the draft, which I think I might try and trade, like, my first-round draft pick and try and leverage Cole Beasley and maybe somebody else to try and get the first overall draft pick. These are guys with the sacks. Let's go to the interceptions real quick. I'll show you guys my plan for the draft here in a moment. Darius Slay Jr. Maybe we try and get him. I don't know. Honestly, I think we should probably just draft the corner as compared to trading. I mean, who knows who's going to be available in free agency? We'll have to wait and see when the time comes. But, yeah, I mean, there's this really awesome corner that I want to draft really badly. And so the guarantee that I can get him, my only thought is try and trade up for the first overall draft pick. You know, make some splashes, make some trades. Anyone with 2 blocks? Wow! Charles Johnson had 3 blocks this season. Defensive touchdowns, 2 for Morris Claiborne, then a bunch of other people. Kicking-wise, don't really need to check this out, but Zane Gonzalez, number 1. Number 1 in our hearts. With Phil Dawson being number 2, the former Brown. 19 years experience, for crying out loud. That is insane to me. But yeah, so we had the most field goals in the entire league, most attempts as well, and the highest percentage. Well, actually, the second highest percentage behind Phil Dawson. So, I mean, Zane had a fantastic season. There's really no need to check punts, I don't think. Who really cares about that? Anyone have a lot of kickoff return touchdowns? Brandon Cooks and Deshaun Jackson both had 2. And then punt returns. Brandon Cooks had 3, so Brandon Cooks is a good return man, for crying out loud. Jeez. All right, so that is that everything? I think we've checked out pretty much everything in terms of stats. We can look at team stats, but they really don't matter all that much. Like, who had most points per game? Steelers and Browns, and then Packers, and then Patriots, and stuff like that. I don't think people really care about those stats really whatsoever. We saw the standings. We saw who's in the playoffs. We saw the awards. We saw the individual stats. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. I love how I've jumped all the way up to number 11 in terms of legacy leaderboard. So, I imagine yearly awards be under Coach of the Year. Haha! Joseph Nero, Coach of the Year. I imagine I would be having the best record and all. But here's my idea for the draft. So, oh, we can't actually show you the draft right now. Huh. I actually imagine we won't be able to show you guys the draft until offseason. But long story short, there's a corner who I think is named Dre Claybrooks. I think that's actually his name. He is projected to be an early first rounder. He is from Ohio State. He's like a shutdown corner. I'm like, we need a shutdown corner. He's from Ohio State. We're the Browns. It all works out so perfectly, you know? So, yeah, so it'd be cool if we could actually get him. It looks like we're taking on the 11-5 Raiders. Derek Carr and Marshawn Lynch's Raiders in the divisional round of the playoffs. And let's go ahead and just, I guess, be under playoff schedule here. This way we can actually see, okay, so it's us versus Raiders, Lions versus Seahawks, Patriots versus Titans, and Redskins versus Falcons. So who won the wild card? Wow, what a game that was. So New England beat the Texans barely 48-44. What a game that would have been. The Redskins beat the Cardinals 23-17. The Raiders knocked out the Steelers. So we were going to face the Steelers here in the divisional round, but the Raiders knocked out the Steelers 38-35. And then the Lions actually took out the Packers, which is typically the opposite, 39-32. What a week of playoff football. Hopefully our game will not be nearly as close. Hopefully our game will be a nice and easy blowout because we have no injuries. Duke Johnson Jr. is going to be back. We have the Anvil MVP, Deshaun Kaiser under center. Should be a good game. But as always, when it comes to the NFL playoffs, one and done. If we lose, that is the end of our season. So stay tuned for the next episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of the Madden 18 playthrough. And if you did, please drop me a rating. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.